Okay, I'm going to go through the 5 subtests, and in this PowerPoint you may have to click to go ahead because I didn't embed it. I actually put it in afterwards, so hopefully this works properly. If it doesn't, when I say go to the next slide, just press to go to the next slide. So for this one, this is what happens. You have 5 subtests, and the first one is relational vocabulary, which is the first slide. In this test, the student has to read 3 words in the box, and then you have to look at the selections and choose 2 words that are related to the original 3 words. This measures the reader's understanding of sets of vocabulary items that are associated with the same general concept. So this is perhaps a little difficult for certain students because you really have to know the first 3 words in the box and how they relate to each other to choose the other sets of the 2 sets of words. I chose number 47 so you can see the most difficult test item on the test, and this is the most difficult test item. This test actually has a ceiling, so when you're scoring it, when a student misses 3 in any 5 consecutive items, you stop and then you just only score what they've done. So you really have to pay attention as you are doing this test. Next slide. Next slide is subtest 2, sentence completion. And in this test, the student reads a sentence that is missing 2 words. The student then reads a list of words, pairs, and chooses the best one that fits the sentence. It's measuring their understanding of implied context, vocabulary, and sentence structure all in one, which is, I really like this test. This one operates pretty much the same way as the other tests. When a student misses 3 in any 5 consecutive items, you stop and you only score what they've done, and you come up with the raw score that way. This is also a non-timed test as the first one. The third subtest is paragraph construction. And in this test, the student is reading a list of sentences that are not in order, and they have to place them in proper order, which is testing their ability to pretty much to construct meaningful paragraphs and follow kind of the thought process of a text, which I really like. This test is a little bit different, and it's a little hard to score while they're doing it because they have, for this score, they can either get 0, 2, 3, 4, or 5 because there's 5 sentences that they're putting in order. So if a student receives 2 points, if only 2 sentences have been put in proper order. If the student has 3 points are given only if they have 3 in order, and the same thing for 4 and 5. Anytime they have less than 3 sentences that have been properly in order on any 2 consecutive items, and then you've reached the ceiling. So it's really so that's that for that one. The raw score is the total number of points that the student receives up to and including the ceiling item. So you only score again what they've answered, they properly have put in order. 5 being the highest they can get, and of course if they get 0, they get 0 on that point. Subtest number 4, text comprehension. In this particular test, the student reads actually the 5 questions that are going to be asked about the test before they read the text, which is a strategy often a lot of teachers use. Read the questions before you read the text, so you have you know what to be looking for as you're reading it. So in this little in this paragraph that I'm showing you here, I don't know if you see them before them, but there are 5 questions before, then you have the little text, and then after, to the right, you see those 5 questions. So that's pretty much how this test is being administered for students. When there's a ceiling also for this test. When any 3 questions are missed, in any 3 consecutive stories you've reached the ceiling for scoring this one as well. The final test, which is contextual fluency. And this one is perhaps my least favorite because I have an issue with the fact that if you have any visual issues, this may be a very difficult test for you. And in this test, the students pretty much, this is a time test. In this subtest, it's pretty much designed to measure the speed that students can recognize words without spacing. Students draw a line to separate one word from the next. And this subtest 5 pretty much is measuring their ability to single out words in a continuous string of letters that can be sorted into words. It's kind of like a puzzle. I really just don't care for it. I don't think it's an accurate measure of, I'm sure it does measure like what it's supposed to, but I guess it bothers me because I think that students, if any student has any visual issues with focusing, this may be very, very difficult for them. This test has a scoring key. Oh, one thing important about this test is not in the test booklet. It's actually in the student book, the student answer sheet guide. It's at the end. So this is a test that, in case you're looking for it, it's actually in the student answer booklet. They have 3 minutes to complete it. Once they complete it, you score it. Each word is worth 1 point, and then you just come up with your raw score at that time.